Got a cool box in from Jimmy Diresta. Everybody knows who Jimmy Diresta is. And I'm excited to see this. He's got some cool videos out there on a sign that he made for me. And I contacted him well over a year ago and asked him about possibly making me one of his hanging sign. Like, he's got this really cool hanging sign that he made out in front of his shop of like a blacksmith. And I thought it'd be cool to have a sign like that hang out in front of my shop that had like a machinist or something, or the Abom logo. And he hasn't ever got his plasma machine, his plasma table hooked up. So he took it upon himself to do something different, which is what he showed in his video, making it out of wood. And he wanted to do this. So let's go ahead and open this thing up. Oh, Jimmy, I hate to show this to you, and I hate to admit it. We have a problem. Yeah, the glue didn't hold, man. Not a problem though. I think I can glue that back together for you right there. So the A did not hold. It broke off there. Damn shipping apes. That's all right. Let's go ahead and inspect the rest of it. Look at that, man. That is beautiful. You did an awesome job, Jimmy. I watched the video on this. I like how he tagged the back of it. And that was a really cool technique that he had. He showed some chemicals that he bought that it was like spray paint, where he spray painted it, and one of those chemicals has a bunch of iron in it, and then there was another chemical that you put on top of it, and you let it sit for like a day or two, and it starts rusting. It's got iron, so it actually rusts. So the two chemicals colors the wood to make it look like an actual steel. It makes the wood look like it's steel. So I really hate that right there, but that's probably from them banging it around. But I'll get with Jimmy and let him know about that. I'll call him in a little while, and he's actually out there busy in Hollywood right now doing his Hollywood thing, but I'll text him and let him know about this guy right here. It shouldn't be an issue. We should be able to glue that back together and it not be a problem. So very cool. Let's check out a couple other things that he put in there. So, you know, Jimmy's big into the old vintage style of printing presses, the manually operated printing presses, which I have a lot of respect for because it's just like manual machining. So look at that. Adam, love and respect. Jimmy Diresta. I make, therefore I am. So he makes these kind of things on his printing presses. So that's very cool. That's going up in my display cabinet right there. Just got a little dirty from the part just sitting on it, but very cool. All right, so I want to see his ice pick that he put in here too. I'm just gonna cut it open, cut the bag open. These are his famous ice picks that he makes, and I believe that he, from what I remember, I hear him in his, I listen to his podcast. He makes like a batch of 100 of these at a time, and whenever he makes a batch of 100, he just puts them up on his eBay page and sells them. So this is something that he just developed, and he uses them all the time, and very cool. It's awesome. Thank you so much, Jimmy. I really appreciate that. I love the handmade gifts and the handmade tools, and you're definitely handmade everything. And we all love and respect you too, brother. Just wanted to give everybody a good shot of the sign, me holding it though, even though we're missing our little A right there. But there you go. Thank you so much, Jimmy, man. It's beautiful. Thank you. All right, so my brother brought this piece over today. It's off of a piece of equipment where he works. I believe it's for a pipe bender. It's got a broken bolt in it right there that he asked if I could help him get out. It's a through hole, so it looks like it might go all the way through. But I tried to back it out with a punch and it won't move, so we'll go to the mill, see if we can get that thing out of there. See if we can get a flat spot on it. We're just going to try to spin it. All right, we'll try our left-handed. It's not a very good grind, but we're going to try it. Doesn't seem like it's going on center there. Must be stuck in there pretty good because that center drill hasn't grabbed it yet. I'm gonna get this left-hander to grab it. There it is.
Yeah, a little bitty thing. I was gonna be long.
Left-handed drill bit does it again. I'm getting ready to do some test cuts here on the shaper with this big piece of flame cut steel. This is what I picked up over at Rudd. So this is 20 inches long and it's 4-inch thick. And let's see, so it's just over 7 inches high there. And these are some carbide inserts. These are my favorite L&MX inserts, and these are some that I picked up at that auction. These are the bigger gauge inserts though that I got, and so I bought that tool holder off of eBay because I didn't have a holder for these particular inserts. So these are for a left-handed tool. I got that off eBay there, and my friend Jason over at Fireball Tool used this on his big Cincinnati shaper, and he got excellent results using that tool on his shaper. So I'm going to see if I can have some satisfactory cuts on my shaper with it, and I don't know if I will or not. I've tried one carbide and it did not work good at all. The problem is on the backstroke, the carbide tries to rub and it breaks the corner off. That's why you got to actually have a tool lifter, so that on the backstroke it actually will lift it to clear the carbide so it doesn't rub and chip, and then it drops it back down. So it's really what you're supposed to have for carbide. So we'll see. It's the way that insert is built, it may work a little bit better than a standard lay flat style of turning tool. So we'll give it a shot. The flame cut edge, it's going to get a little bit thicker as it goes over, even if we make it over this far. I touched off right here, and I went down 60 thousandths, so let's see what it does. Only touch it in the middle right there so far. See, it already chipped it. That's what I figured it would do. So this was unsuccessful on using the carbide. I indexed the insert one time, and it made probably 3 strokes and did the same thing. It's not the cut that's chipping it. What it is it's on the backstroke that's chipping the insert, and it's just not going to work. I got to have a tool lifter to be able to clear that insert every time. So I'm just not going to continue messing up the insert. But since we got this piece of steel up in here, I want to continue to play with it, and we'll go ahead and at least clean this one side up. So I'm going to put my piece of 1/8 Momax back up in here, and we'll use the one that I ground up the other day, and we'll use this guy right here, that tool grind, and we'll go ahead and clean this piece of steel up. That's a 1/4 inch depth of cut, by the way. That's a 20,000 step over. I think we'll step it up a little at a time and see what it does. Let's go up to 30. That's 30 thousandths. Running approximately 80 feet per minute, by the way. We got about a 21-inch stroke. Let's see if we can do 40,000 step over. That's 40 thousandths. That looks like one of our 40 thousandths step over chips right there. I like it. I love the cut side. It's so smooth. There's a lot of weight to those things, man. Machine seems to be doing pretty good. Tool bit seems to be holding up well also. We got that clean up cut done. I'm going to make one more pass across there just to clean the rest of it up. You can see our flame cut gouge there, and then this section right here, it got really close to not cleaning that up. A little bit harder area right there where it wasn't very a very deep cut right there. There's also a shallow spot there, so I'm just going to make another cut. Just having fun, just getting a little more practice in on this piece. That's what I got this for. Trying something just a little bit different this cut, and what I did is I ground what I call a chip breaker on the tool like I would for a high-speed tool in the lathe. So I've got a groove ground right on the cutting edge of the tool, and I reground the edge and honed it in an attempt to see what it does, see if it would try to curl the chip a little bit more and see if it'll give it a little bit more of a positive rake, you know, as it cuts. So let's see what it does. Went down an 1/8 of an inch, so 125 thousandths. So it's definitely curling it around a little bit more. It's not so blue, so it doesn't seem like it's so harsh pushing it off there. That's only 20 thousandths. I wanted to see what it was like with that. I'm going to step it up to 30 thousandths and see what it's doing. I'm kind of experimenting with more of a, I guess you'd call it a semi-finish cut. So something that you would do where you want to finish a piece of steel, not with a shear tool, but you want to cut it, make it look nice. That's looking really good if you ask me. Let's try a 30 thou. That looks pretty good too. All right, there's our final finish right there. Just playing around with our high-speed grinds. And that's just what I'm going to land on right there. There's no need to try to improve that any. It actually looks really good, and it's got a nice smooth feel to it. Tried a few different grind profiles there, and it worked real good. So that's it. This is just a practice block right here. There's no other reason to be cutting it. So I'm eventually going to be squaring it up completely on all sides and just using as a test piece over here on the shaper. I'm set up to do some more test cuts. So what we're doing now, I flipped the block over, so we're going to cut the other side that's flame cut there. This is a 4-inch thick, 20-inch long piece. I swapped out my tool bit. Now this is a piece of Rex 95, and I have not used Rex 95 over on the shaper yet. So I want to try this piece right here. This is a 1-inch square tool, one that I found in my toolbox. I actually used to use this to do some very coarse threading on the big Monarch. That's why I didn't ground this side right there. It's ground up for V-thread. So I ground this other side. I want to see if it holds up as well as it does, or better or worse than the Momax. So let's give it a shot. I've got it set at a 1/4 inch depth, just touched off manually over here on this side. And it's got a kerf that slopes down, so it'll get shallower as it goes across there. Right around 150 to 120 feet per minute. We've got it set at 28 strokes a minute, and that's a 21-inch stroke length. Just moving some metal right there. About at the end of the block. Yep, that's it. So my tool bit is doing good. I'm impressed with it. This is It's still the original grind in the hone. It hasn't worn the edge. It's doing really good. You can see the heat in there from the cut. I'm impressed. It's doing really well. So that was actually 2 passes across there because I stopped. It was starting to get into the flame cut. I didn't want to start cutting into that hard stuff. So I moved back over to the edge. It took another 1/8 of an inch and come all the way across, and that's when I brought you back. Yeah, I'm impressed so far. It did good. I took me a light finish pass across there, 30,000 step, and this is the finish here. This is one of the appealing things of a shaper finish is the finish itself. It's different than a milled finish, and I like it. It's different and I like it, and it's beautiful. I really think it's beautiful. That linear cut, you don't have the circular motion in there. And don't get me wrong, the today's high-speed milling cutters with carbide inserts done on CNC machines that leave mirror finishes, they're beautiful, and nothing wrong with them, especially with high-end production work and CNC jobs. But I just love this stuff right here. I love it. This old school ways of getting it done. So this is just me, again, playing, testing, and tuning. That's all this is right here. The tool bit is continuing to hold up, so that's impressing me. That piece of Rex 95, I wanted to test that out. So that did all that cutting on that side, and it has not worn the edge, the cutting edge yet. So as I get some more free time in between some of my other projects, I'm going to continue to flip and rotate this block and get it cut in square. I've been planning a trip over to Mobile here in the next day or two. I purchased a dake press from Andrew Alexander, and I wanted to go ahead and try to get to a couple things on my little trailer that I've been meaning to get to for a while. One is I've been needing a spare tire for it for a while, a spare rim, a spare tire. So we fixed that problem. I'll show you that. And I went ahead and started working on a couple issues on the trailer while I was kind of going into it. Now I've got other things that I need to do to the trailers as far as the deck goes, and we're going to get to that later. But let me go ahead and show you where we're at right now. So some of the expanded metal, like along here, had popped out on the bottom right there. So I've already welded all that back there. All the expanded metal here was popped out. You can see where I've done got it tacked on right there. So we've got that fixed up. And the other thing I'm doing is I'm adding more of these little eyelets right here. Just got them in. I ordered these from McMaster Car. So I welded these things on years ago, and the reason I put these on was for motorcycle use. I added some in the back for strapping on the back side. I added some right here for a tie down point, and then I had them right here. So this is where my ratchet straps would go to hold down the motorcycles. I also had one in the middle, so you'd have 2 motorcycles there, and you have strap points there. So what I did is I went ahead and bought some more of the same exact ones. These are those guys right there, and I just I grind the zinc coating off of it, and I went ahead and I'm just adding 3 more, so we'll pretty much have them all equally spaced around there. I found so many times where I needed another space to hook onto for a strap, and it's just more convenient to go right here versus kind of hooking through right there, going around to right there. So that's something that I've done. I torched off the old jack that was right there that everybody bends whenever you let somebody borrow your trailer. you try to tell them, please run the jack up, and they never do, and they bend it. So I just stopped putting jacks on there. I just left it on there for like 10 years bent because I got tired of replacing it every time. So I'm planning on putting a toolbox on here for my straps, and that's what's going to go on there now, is one of those aluminum toolboxes. I went out to the junkyard. I got a junkyard right down the street, a boneyard, and I wanted to find a spare rim. So I have 14-inch wheels, and I found an S10, and it had good wheels on it. So I just bought 2 wheels, and I just got 2 of them on there, and they had these original hubcaps on there that are like still in really good shape. There's not a dent on these things. So I just went ahead and got both the wheels and the hubcaps, and I thought, let's just mix it up. I've had these original wheels on this trailer ever since we got it, and I'm gonna put some of these originals S10 rims on there with the hubcaps. Got some brand new tires I just got back. These are trailer service only. These are trailer tires. I just got them on there, so I'm getting ready to put these on the trailer. And a lot of guys are probably asking, why am I getting S10 rims on there? Because of the bolt pattern. This is a 5 by 4 3/4 pattern. That's the hubs that are on this trailer, and I mean, I know that because that's what has always been. Most trailers are 5 by 4 1/2, which is a Ford pattern, but mine are 4 3/4. It's a Chevy pattern. But this is one of the old rims right here, and the tire, and it still works. There ain't nothing wrong with it, but it's getting very dry, and that's what happens over time. They just get dry. This is the one I'm going to use as a spare, but they're starting to get some cracking in there. But I wanted a spare, which I didn't have, so this is going to be my spare tire now. So we got a spare, and I've got a new little small little compact floor jack that's going to stay with the trailer, and I'm going to get me a toolbox for it. I'm going to mount that spare tire probably on the back right here. I'm going to build me a little mount and have the spare tire mounted on there all the time. So just making small improvements. So the next major phase is that I'm going to redo the deck on this. I'm going to rip all this off there, and I want to put some new bracing in there because a couple of these in the middle are actually bent a little bit. Replace those, put a new deck on this thing, slap a fresh coat of paint on it. This thing will be ready to roll. Those studs were pretty severely rusted coming off. It's been a long time since I took them wheels off there. So I wire brushed them really good with an air grinder. And so we got the new tires going on there, new wheels. And I coated the studs down with the CRC anti-seize right there. So this is a nickel anti-seize, and hopefully it'll lubricate the threads well whenever the nuts go back on there, and keep them from rusting so bad this time. Got them caps polished up. I think that looks pretty good. All right, well, I'm happy with the new rubber, and we finally got us a spare tire. So we need to get us a little mount so that I can get that bolted onto the trailer and keep it on there all the time. And I'm going to work on getting a toolbox on here so I can keep all the tools together on the trailer all the time. A jack, you know, and tools to remove the hubcaps and take the wheels off, have a jack stand, all that kind of stuff. Have it all ready to go all the time. So next big phase, as I said, we're going to remove the deck. I'm going to do some metal repair on the cross beams in there, and then we'll see about having it sandblasted, and I'll paint it, put a new deck on it, and I think this trailer will be ready for another 20 plus years of some action. So that's going to be it for now. Getting ready to I'm waiting on the machine to get here, and then I'll have to head over to Mobile and pick it up. So I'll show you some video of that whenever that happens. All right, so Keith Rucker stopped by and paid me a visit. Well, he just got here anyway.
Just pulled up.
Just got here, and he brought me a little gift. So you guys might remember the Carlton radio alarm drill press right there that we've got covered up. And Keith and I made a deal on the table that's off his Carlton, because he has the same exact drill as I do. So this is the table off of his, and he is selling me his because you picked up another one, right?
That's right. I picked up one of the universal tables that will tilt and everything. I got to do some repairs to it still, but
okay.
But I don't need two of them, and
yeah,
he needed one, and so it worked out perfect.
It worked out good because mine's missing the table.
It's a missing table. This is the exact one that comes off of this model. So.
Right. All right. So. And we made this deal, I don't know, a few months ago, I think, whenever I got the drill, and I've just been waiting on a free ride down here because I haven't actually made it up there to Keith's yet. So yeah, that's pretty cool. Well, this is going to work just fine. He's already got the base of it painted and everything. So he just backed in. We hooked the cherry picker up. We're getting ready to take it off there. So I thought I would show you guys. We finally got us a table for the Carlton. So I appreciate you bringing it down here, Keith.
Not a problem. I was in Pensacola anyway.
Yep.
So
yep. So we're gonna get it unloaded and we'll probably talk shop a little bit, and then I'm gonna take them down there and we're gonna have some dinner.
Sounds good.
All right.